Hello, everybody, and welcome to another Millennial Movie Review. I am Brayden, joined as always with Steph.
Hello.
And Alex.
Hello.
And not here, but also came to the preview screening that we just came back from, was Steph's mum.
My mum.
Who enjoyed the film immensely.
She really loved it.
All mums will enjoy this film.
We went and saw 2020's Emma.
Full stop after that. So Emma.
Emma, period.
Or just Emma.
Period.
Let me finish my joke. Emma is what we saw.
Nice. Nice.
Yeah.
No, would it not... Wait, okay, no, we're holding up on grammar here, but wouldn't it be Emma? It's what we saw.
True. That could work. Emma. It's a movie
It depends if you italicize the movie. If you set it as a separate thing, so it's Emma full stop, and you italicize that to show that's the name of the movie, you can continue with
when you're
whatever you
referencing
wanted.
to the film, it's in quotations because it's the title of the film, is it not?
Or it's italicized if you're doing it on a computer.
Yes.
You're italicized.
Emma, ladies and gentlemen, not Italian
God,
in the slightest.
People hate us now.
It's incredibly English.
Why did you stop watching after 1 minute? Well, they were just talking about grammar.
Grammar.
Emma.
But yeah, I really enjoyed this actually. It was really sweet and it was very, very, very period centric, but also very eccentric. I found
It was
very quirky.
Very quirky for a
thing
period
that
film.
made it feel really quirky as a period film for me was actually the music. Like whenever something slightly odd was going on, they were doing this really like playful little orchestral score.
Did you feel like, Steph, sorry, Brayden, I just know you haven't seen The Favourite.
Yeah, that's
Do
all
you
good.
feel like they saw The Favourite and they went...
Yeah, look, they definitely
I did a visual gag, no one's here.
played...
Alex
they,
nodded his head and pointed.
They played into that by having like some quite modern sort of snarkiness, I would say, to it that The Favourite adopted.
I was like, they definitely took some inspiration from how The Favourite was made, especially like how it was written and filmed.
I think
Nice.
that where was I going? You know what? Carry on.
Oh, I like the film, by the way. I don't think I said
Yes, Alex liked the film. Steph loved it.
I really did. I really did love it. It's just everything that I love in history and literature and romance, and so I was quite happy with it. I think that it was interesting how they chose to. You know what? I lost it again. Forget it.
Oh, no.
I don't think it's going to really bug me.
You're too in love.
I am.
Yeah.
I really am.
Bless.
Oh,
This film
well-
starts off with a butt.
It does.
Yep.
A glorious butt.
A big old butt.
It was definitely a butt.
Yeah.
I'm going to talk about a negative.
Oh, go for it.
I felt it felt a little long, especially towards the back half.
I think things that probably made it feel really long for us, we were sitting in a very cramped theater, which was very weird, like very small seats.
And I always, this is a little insight of me. Every time I get comfortable in a theater, I automatically think I fucked up.
Oh no.
I either think I've left the lights on in my car, something that should be in my pocket is not in my pocket, and I spend the whole movie just
Instant
thinking
stress.
of that. Yeah.
I will say,
Even though everything's fine.
Yeah.
in the very first 5 minutes of the movie, when it was playing up its sort of awkwardness and
Very much.
I
It was
was
very
like,
quirky.
I was just thinking, oh my God, what are we watching?
If this is the whole film, I'm gonna die.
Yeah, that's right. I was really scared. I was like, they're going to hate this. I've taken mum's first press screening and she's going to hate
She's
the
gonna be
movie.
like, wow, that was so weird. No
Yeah.
one in that film was any good. But no,
I
that's
really,
actually
really,
a case
really
of...
liked it.
They did a good job with it.
I really liked the relationship between Emma and her friend Harriet.
Yes.
Emma,
Harriet,
obviously played by Anya Taylor-Joy.
yeah, who did a really good job with her part.
She was
She
very charismatic and she was very likable.
Yeah, it was very...
And she definitely seemed like someone that I thought everyone, because she's like a lady, I guess.
Yeah.
Everyone looked up. Like, definitely thought of high regard of her.
Yeah.
That's right. Yeah.
I definitely was able to believe that.
Yeah, there are very much cases where, like, I mean, obviously Emma was written by Jane Austen yonks ago, but like, there's very much instances where you can see on the street or when you were in school or anything, you can see an Emma and a Harriet. Like, you can see where they're like, this person is definitely making the calls, and the other person's very much like
she's an
following
influencer.
along
She's
behind.
just like she's a
she
social
was the
influencer.
original influencer.
That's it, and she was a matchmaker.
Yeah,
So, you
which
know,
I
that
thought
was-
was great. It was very funny.
And Harriet, in the meanwhile, she was poor.
Yeah, bless. Because
What was she a part of? Those red people.
the
Handmaiden.
Handmaid's Tale. They were
what was that deal?
they were like a orphanage style.
I think it was
lady
something like
making
that.
thing.
Yeah.
And why did Harriet go to her? What was that relationship? Was she just like a handmaiden? Or-
because her other one, she got married
She
at the
got
start.
married.
Yeah.
which was
All the marriage
girl
scenes
from Game
were
of Thrones.
So
very awkward.
Yeah, Yara Greyjoy.
Yeah, it was too, wasn't it?
She should have taken someone on as like a project almost. That's what she does.
Yeah. And
It's
then
like her good deed.
she just ended up becoming really good friends with her.
Yeah.
And like
I liked Harry.
I love the down to earth parts where like when they were like learning to like practicing dancing. Like I loved that. That was really nice.
That
it was like,
was.
oh,
What did we think of Mr. Knightley?
the men. Knightley. That's the one
That's the
who
one-
I thought you were
comes-
asking about Bill Nye for a second.
I mean, we could talk about
The
Bill
science
Bill
Nye.
Nye as a hypochondriac,
Oh my
paranoid. Oh, he was great.
He was excellent. He
Didn't
nailed
want,
his
didn't want
comedic
Emma to leave
timing.
him.
I know.
I mean, like I've seen so many people like that, but like, man, they hit the nail on the head with that.
He was
and
funny too.
He's very funny. Oh
With
my
the
god,
little shades.
the screen
Yeah.
door
screens
things
and stuff. That was good.
Excellent. Yeah,
There was definitely some.
Knightley was the
comedy.
one who rocked up in the middle of the film.
the one whose
They
butt
were
we
all
saw.
talking about.
Mr. Knightley was the one
No.
whose butt.
Oh,
we
that's
saw.
the one from the start. The friend.
Yes.
Churchill is the one.
Churchill's the other
I
one.
usually call
He
him
rocked up
Winston.
halfway through.
Gotcha.
What's
Yeah.
his name, like Francis or something?
No, I
Francis
thought he
Churchill.
was.
Frank Churchill.
Frank.
I thought he was really like as a good person overall. Like
Who, Winston or
the
Winston?
Mr. Knightley.
Knightley
Did you
or-
think he was
I'm always-
charismatic?
I thought he was pretty charismatic, but then he could also be very blunt at times.
I thought
And I think that was sort of a mix between being gentlemanly and being like a friend.
That's the thing.
it's definitely a tale as old as time.
Yeah.
I
And
knew exactly what was going to happen from their first interaction. Like I
Yeah.
knew those two were going to end up together, and that
And this
was-
is
it
coming
was-
from Alex and I had never seen Emma or Clueless.
Clueless, yes.
Yeah, I knew exactly. I was like, I've seen how the story goes. These two who aren't really fans of each other in the beginning, they're gonna
It-
knock boots in the end, and
It's very Jane
the boots were a
Austen.
knocking.
It's the same with Elizabeth Bennet and Mr. Darcy.
Yeah.
It's the same thing. They don't like each other. They find each other
Oh
detestable
shit! Spoilers
and
for Emma, by the way.
arrogant. And I suppose the story was written.
Yeah, the book's
Early
been out
1800s.
yonks ago. If you wanted to know about Emma, you would be up to date with it. And if you've seen
because
Clueless,
it's based on a book, does that mean it's bad? That doesn't matter at all. That I thought was predictable, but I didn't know the story.
you didn't know the story. It's interesting. So you thought it was predictable off of seeing different styles of
This is
people
probably the
adapting
same
on
story.
that concept.
That's it. That's the thing.
was probably the original
she
one.
invented, yeah.
So
she invented
while
the
you-
genre.
Was the book called Emma? It was.
Yeah.
Okay.
So
this is
while
straight up
you
adapted.
thought it was predictable in a sense, it was actually the OG.
Yeah.
But seeing a modern adaptation of it made you feel that the story was predictable. This is very interesting.
Yes.
That's
Yes.
Much less. Honestly, I don't know. I think it's a little bit less predictable in Clueless. Probably
Clueless?
because Paul Rudd is a college student and Alicia Silverstone is 16 or 17. So it's a little bit odd. But
Yeah. Straight up.
But yeah, but I still love Clueless and I think it's a beautiful romance story, but I'm also a hopeless romantic at heart, which is why I think that.
I still need to see Clueless. I
do.
will see Clueless.
And yeah, so for the listeners,
I haven't seen Clueless
was
either.
one of the more original adaptations of Emma, and it's basically set in the 90s. It's just a very 90s.
Like a Romeo plus Juliet.
It's very
from
on the
Baz
nose.
Luhrmann.
You've got someone called Elton in the book,
Yeah.
in Clueless, and it's all very. It's pretty much shot for shot the
Can we
same
talk about
thing.
Mr.
That's just-
Elton? For
Elton.
a second, I enjoyed every second he
was
being
the
creepy,
priest, wasn't he?
being quirky.
He was very odd and it was perfect.
But he was. But the thing is, he's supposed to be very charismatic and charming, and all the
Oh,
girls
really?
fawn over him. Yeah, he's supposed to be like. That's why she was saying they're like, oh, but Mr. Elton, he knows he's handsome. He knows he can have anyone he wants. He's not just going to throw that away for one girl like Harriet.
I wouldn't
Oh.
say he was. I'd say he just probably got some issues.
He was very weird.
I didn't find him to be the charismatic
No.
portrayal. I found him to be a bit leery and a little bit.
I never would have called him
alternative.
charismatic. I thought he was very out there.
He's supposed to be Mr. Popular.
He'd get it,
yeah,
though.
and he was.
He was
not.
pretty.
Pretty handsome. Yeah, he was handsome.
Yeah.
Oh really?
I think he was handsome.
Oh, he wasn't for me then.
I
I think it was just those eyes. He was pulling the crazy eyes half the time.
I thought everyone in the film was good. Especially for a lot of them, I had no idea who they were before.
Yeah, no clue
Never
who these
seen
people were.
hardly. The only people I recognized was obviously Anya Taylor-Joy, Bill Nye, the guy that played Frank. Yep. And then the one that played the one who was quote unquote annoying.
Oh yes.
I knew she was because she was in the hit film Spy.
Oh,
Melissa
Ah.
McCarthy.
that's fun.
I see.
fun
She's
pool.
actually really funny though.
The poor
Oh.
girl.
Poor lady.
the poor lady
Yeah.
who kept
She was funny. She was very funny. She always flustered and getting in the way of things and everything.
she annoyed me. I mean, I know she had a good heart, so
That's
was
kind of her point.
yeah. That's
Steph
it.
just doesn't like poor people.
Yeah, it's interesting
What was
because like
that quote you got me on earlier?
Oh my god, where is it?
there
It
were
was really bad.
there were definitely times where like Emma would do something and I'd be like, are we meant to be with Emma or against Emma at this point in time?
I think that's
She's just a product of her own like
Yeah.
social upbringing. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? And that's the thing that I love so much about Jane Austen films. Like I said, is that like marriages and love were not
In that time.
They were not one and the same.
Yeah,
In
it was
the
very
Victorian
much a
era.
case
It was
of
so much that like
you're marrying for money and
money,
estate.
status, estate, exactly, all of that sort of stuff.
I have a real life quote from Steph here
Oh, no.
about poor
Spoken
people.
like 4 hours ago.
Yeah.
oh bless.
I feel like poor people will always become communists.
Look, not wrong.
Yep.
You're more
as
you're more
They'll always do Joker stuff.
you're predisposed to become a communist if
as
you're poor.
as someone
That was your word for word.
as someone more recently in closer to this
Did
situation.
you become a communist?
I can agree.
You became a Marxist?
No, not quite. I'm not pushing that far.
So,
I'm not joining any social...
overall thoughts, because it's kind of turned into a podcast.
Yeah, it has a bit.
Overall
yeah.
thoughts of Emma.
Overall, I tell you what, cinematically, like I loved it.
I like the colors.
Oh,
I
loved-
thought production wise, it was very, very
It
good.
was beautiful.
Incre-
Yeah. It was so fresh.
I like the costumes.
bloody depth of field, like
Yeah.
and lighting at times, like some of the lighting on their faces in like really intimate moments. Oh,
What did you think about the separate title cards to announce the beginning
I
of
like
each new
that.
season? You
I
like
like that sort of stuff.
Yeah?
I loved the initial title card of Emma on the screen as
the
she's
quote?
walking down the hole.
Oh, yeah.
I loved
Oh,
that.
she's in the middle of the Emma.
Yeah, I loved that. That was beautiful. That was such a nice shot.
That was good.
You'd
I
like
think
a
it was
Star is
beautifully
Born
filmed.
then.
Oh, do they do a lot of that?
Yeah. Or they just do that.
Still
Same
haven't seen
thing with the title.
Ah.
Anyway, yeah.
What do we rate it?
Overall, I thought it was good. I did think it was a little long sometimes, and obviously the story, because I was like kind of guessing most of it.
Yeah.
I would say I was not that invested, or like I was more curious to see if I was right, and I was.
Right. Yes.
But overall, the performances were really good. The production was really good. I would give it a 3.5 out of 5.
3.5.
Really enjoyed it, but probably wouldn't go see it again.
That's fair. I quite enjoyed it. I think it was about maybe halfway through where I had a moment and realized, oh wait, I'm actually really invested in what happens to these characters now. I want to see what happens because they've proven halfway through the film, they've proven that they're going to pull a couple little twists on you as to like who actually likes who where. And that was really nice. So I give it a 4.
I would give it a 4.25 because
Nice.
I really, really, really loved it. I just feel my heart like just feels so good. I feel so good now
Yeah.
after watching it. I just feel so happy. Although I feel very, very, very despondent about the state of the mail in Adelaide in 2020. And
Yeah.
so,
Hey.
Bless. No, hey, look, it's rough out there.
All right.
The numbers are down.
no one will compare to Mr.
Numbers are
Knightley
down.
or
It's
Mr.
rough.
Darcy or
If
anyone.
you dress like an old Victorian man and you are very gentlemanly,
Come hit me
please
up.
hit us up.
I am so
on,
gentlemanly. Did you not see me try to
MMT?
let those people go in front of me in line today?
And
And I definitely got in the line before them, and I still offered.
But you're
You
not
did
wearing
too,
the
you know
vest
what?
and the socks and the shoes and the
Oh, sorry, I
pantaloons.
wasn't dressed like I was from the 1920s.
Well, that 18.
Sue me. 1840s.
roughly.
Fucking sue me.
yeah, get your top hat out,
Get to the top hat, get the cane, get the carriage.
get
You
a
know what?
horse.
I'm not asking for much, guys.
Yeah,
Really.
And that's the review.
that's it. Thank you all so much for joining us, and check out the weekly podcast we do, and check us out on Patreon and stuff. And links are in the description. And thank you all so much for joining us. And as always,
Steph?
And I'm Alex.
and I'm Brayden.
No, you're not.